Good to have you with us on a Monday morning. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. We begin with the wildfires raging on both sides of the country. Weather conditions are now offering some relief, but the situation is far from over.
On the West Coast, crews in Southern California are starting to gain control of the 20,000-acre mountain fire. But some residents in Ventura County have already lost everything. Fires aren't just a problem out west. In the Northeast, bone-dry conditions triggered fire alerts for 11 million people on Sunday. Firefighters in New Jersey say they are running ragged as they battle the so-called Jennings Creek wildfire along the border with New York. Dozens of brush fires have been burning in that region for days.
An 18-year-old New York State Parks employee was killed Saturday while battling the flames. Now, even with some much-needed rain overnight, fire officials are not getting their hopes up.
You know, make no mistake, though precipitation is forecasted, that's not going to solve the problem that we have here with this wildfire. It's inevitable that this fire is going to continue to burn up until it reaches our control lines.
We have NBC News meteorologist Michelle Grossman standing by with the latest forecast, and NBC News correspondent George Solis reporting for us on the ground. Let's start with George, who is in Mahwah, New Jersey. George, wildfires have been burning in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. We could smell it in New York City over the weekend. Did rain a little bit overnight. Is that having any impact at all?
Hey, good morning, Joe and Savannah. We've had some measurable rain, which is a great start, but fire officials saying, look, it's not going to be enough to really saturate these dry conditions here. I mean, you can hear some of the brush here. It is just dry out here, which has really just been the fuel for these fires that have been raging here over the last several days. But fire officials really giving us some interesting context. They're saying since October 1st, they've had 537 wildfires in the state of New Jersey alone, which is why you heard fire officials say their crews are running ragged. And, of course, this large fire here, the Jennings Creek fire, they have some containment on it, about 10%, but about 3,000 acres are burning right now. And again, that rain is so crucial to give them that upper hand. But guys, with these dry conditions, they know it's going to be an uphill battle, and they believe they won't have this completely under control, at least through the end of the week. Guys?
George, a moment ago, I mentioned the young man who died battling the fire in New York. There will be a memorial service today. What are we learning about him?
Yeah, we're learning his name is Daryl Vasquez, 18 years old. He worked for the state park service for New York, and we're hearing that he died trying to make sure this fire would not spread. We understand he was actually helping clean up tree debris, and unfortunately a tree actually fell on him, according to officials. And of course, making the situation already difficult for firefighters. Now you have the loss of one of their own here, really just complicating things. We're hearing today there's going to be a vigil at this young man's high school in remembrance of it. So obviously, not only are the firefighters dealing with these brutal conditions, this tough terrain out here, now they're also grappling with the loss of one of their own, guys.
And a reminder of just
high schooler.
Yeah, all the risks that these crews are taking as they try to keep all of us safe. George, let's talk about the West Coast. As far as the situation in Southern California is concerned, sounds like they're starting to get a handle on the mountain fire. Where do things stand, and just what is the scale of the destruction left behind so far?
Yeah, it is a massive fire out there, which is what we're used to seeing when you talk about wildfire. Some of those harrowing images, more than 20,000 acres. Last check, about 30% containment, which is pretty good. They're making some good progress there. Over the weekend, there was some if you will, lessening of the Santa Ana winds, which kind of gave the firefighters an opportunity to really catch up. But nevertheless, obviously, you still have that inferno out there, turning some of those images that you're seeing, really just those hellscapes of what could be just otherwise beautiful fall scenery. Not the case out there. We're seeing and starting to hear from some of the residents going back into their homes in those areas, and they are just dumbfounded by what they are finding. Complete remnants, just what was left of their homes. Just really, really shocking images. I believe we have some sound from some of those officials out there. Take a listen.
We kind of have nothing left but our family, so it really just makes you think of, is it all worth it keeping a bunch of things, or is it more just staying in contact with family and just being there for each other?
Yeah, again, just hearing what these residents are going through. The good news here, though, no mandatory evacuations. The fire is starting to creep up in some areas, so people are asked to voluntarily evacuate if they feel it's necessary. But again, as I mentioned, this is going to be an uphill battle for many firefighters, so they hope to get this under control by the end of the week. Guys?
These fires do put a lot of things into perspective. All right, George, thank you so much.
Well, for more on what to expect here, let's get a check on your morning news now weather.
Meteorologist Michelle Grossman is tracking everything. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, guys. And unfortunately, we're going to see that fire threat continuing. We had the rain that moved through the Northeast, most of it off the coast at this point, didn't put a dent in the drought and didn't extinguish the fire. So we are still looking at staggering numbers across the country in terms of the drought monitor. 87% of the lower 48 states in a drought, 49 states reporting some sort of drought. You can see all these numbers here corresponding to moderate, severe, extreme. Where you see the red, that's extreme. The darker red is exceptional. So we are looking at some spots in that exceptional range. The Northeast, I mentioned that rain that came through, not a whole lot. Now we needed it. We'll take any we can get, but we still need more. And we're not going to see rain in the Northeast at least for 7 days, at least for most of the Northeast. 57% in a moderate drought, 20% of the region now in severe drought, where you see those darker colors once again corresponding to those extreme numbers. Now, as we go throughout the rest of today, we're going to dry it out in portions of the Northeast. May see some lingering showers in the Great Lakes, parts of the Carolinas, the Gulf Coast states, spotty rain. Some could be heavy, some of the showers, as we go throughout this Monday. Otherwise, we're dry throughout most of the country. It's back to the west where we're looking at a series of storm systems moving onshore. This is where most of the active weather will be this week. We have an atmospheric river, a series of fronts that will be moving through, and that's going to bring a lot of rain in some spots. It's going to bring some pretty heavy mountain snow as well. So where you see those darker colors, that's where we're expecting the heaviest amounts of rain. The blue is where we're expecting the snow. The lighter blue is the heavier amounts of snow. Then as we go by Wednesday, still active in the west. That's pushing into the Rockies. We had all that snow in Denver, and we're going to see more into the Intermountain West. Now on Wednesday, the rain will be situated from the Midwest throughout parts of the Great Lakes into the south central states or the Gulf Coast states. And we could be heavy at times, but we're going to be dry still on Wednesday throughout the Northeast. Really warm today, but we're back to more seasonal temperatures by Wednesday. Friday, keeping it dry once again. The only precipitation in the Northeast will be parts of New England where we could see some snow, especially in Maine. Wintry impacts throughout the Northwest, the Intermountain West, and gosh, that's going to be really active as we go throughout the week. That's going to be one to watch throughout most of this work week. Mild temperatures throughout the Midwest into the Great Lakes. November highs throughout the Southeast, but really notice a lot of us are going to be dry throughout the week. Let's talk about the storm system in the Northeast this morning. It's moving out. We're going to see those clouds clearing. Then, unfortunately, the winds pick up tomorrow, so we're going to see that fire threat really increasing once again tomorrow.
It was just incredible over the weekend, walking around New York City, the smell of smoke. Yeah. And people kept saying, they're like, where's that coming from? And I would go, New Jersey, it's wildfires.
And Prospect Park, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, we smelled that a couple summers ago or last summer from Canada. So that's what you're expecting, but it's right on our doorstep.
Oh, and growing up, and you've lived in California too, it takes you right back to that wildfires.
Oh, I bet.
Brooklyn. All right, Michelle, a lot to watch. Thank you. Sure.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.